Hello, everyone. Really nice to see you all today. Thank you for coming. During today's lesson, we're going to learn the MIDL skill of observing thinking. When you're using thinking as a meditation object, you're not concerned with what you're thinking about, the content of the thought. What we're concerned with is how we experience thinking. So during this lesson, I'm going to ask you some simple questions so we can develop some understanding about this and develop some understanding about the true nature of thinking. Through developing insight in this way, it changes our relationship to our thoughts. And in this way, we can change the way we relate to things in life. Now, what we're going to do, or the easiest way, is if we do a little meditation together. I'll guide you in. And in that meditation, I'm going to ask you some simple questions. I'd like you to see if you can answer them. The first question is, how do you experience thinking? So what's your experience of thinking? Or how do you experience thoughts? Do you see your thoughts? Are they like visions or like movies? Do you hear your thoughts? Do you hear voices in your head? Maybe your own, maybe somebody else's? Do you feel your thoughts? Can you feel your thoughts in the body? Or is there some other way that you experience thinking? Then I'll ask you a question. Where do you experience thinking? Now, don't assume that it's in your head. Be open to this. If you assume something in meditation, that's what will arise. Your mind will trick you. We want to see how it really is. Where do you experience thinking? Very simple questions. Do you think you can do it? We'll do it together. Okay, wonderful. Let's start out by taking our meditation posture. Just arrange yourself. Allowing your eyes to gently close over. Just relaxing, becoming present. And becoming aware of any sounds around you. Just allowing those sounds to come into you. Focusing on the flow, the change within the sound, allowing it to hold your attention. Bringing mindfulness to the front of your mind, a posture of remembering you're sitting here. And gradually bringing awareness into your body. relaxing into your body, becoming very present. Now I'd like you to relax your mindfulness. Relax your effort to know that you're sitting here. Relax your effort to know your body. And allow your attention to habitually wander. Allow your mind to produce thoughts. Just relax. And answer these simple questions if your mind produces thoughts. Do you see your thoughts? Do you hear your thoughts? Or do you feel your thoughts? And where do you experience thinking? Does thinking have location? Okay, you can open your eyes. So how did you go? What was that? Oh, your mind didn't think? Isn't it interesting? When we give our mind permission to wander, we allow it to wander, it doesn't want to wander anymore. But when we tell it it can't wander, we want it to stay in one place, then it wants to wander all over the place. You know, there's an insight there to be learnt about the nature of the mind too. Yeah. Yes? Okay. Could you see your thoughts? You saw them? How did you experience them? Were they like still images, like pictures? Or was it more like a movie playing? Like a movie? Yeah. Was it a silent movie? No. Oh, you had a voice as well. So it wasn't a silent movie. You had a commentator. You could afford to have a commentator with your movie. Watching that movie, the visions, could you understand everything from just watching that? Or was the commentary necessary to understand what the thinking was about? I know it's a strange question, isn't it? Okay. How many people saw their thoughts as movies? Put your hands up. Okay, 5 of you. How many people saw their thoughts as still images? 10 people. Yeah? Okay, wonderful. Notice already we have a difference in the way we see things. Some people see movies, some people just see still images. If I have images come up, if I see my thoughts, it's usually just a flickering image that comes up in the mind. It doesn't last for very long. I can't actually visualize anything. Yeah. It's important to understand everyone's different in this way. Now, I could hear my thoughts. Yeah. Put up your hand if you could hear your thoughts. Yeah. Was it your own voice or was it somebody else's voice? Don't worry, we don't think you're crazy. This is a meditation class. Yeah? Your own voice? Did anyone hear any voices other than their own? You did? Just don't admit it when you go outside. It's perfectly okay. This is how the mind works. So far, there's people that could see their thoughts as a movie. Other people would see them as little images. Some could hear their thoughts. And some of you said you can see and hear them as well. So both happening together. Yeah. Anybody could see their thoughts, but there's no voice, yeah, definitely. This is what it's like. Some people just see their thoughts, but they don't hear their thoughts. So silent movie. So within that silent movie, within that image, or with that movie playing of the thoughts in your mind, did that contain all the information you needed? I'm interested because I get the commentary. I hear as well as see the images. I guess it could be like if we looked at an old photo and there's something that happened in that photo. We can look at the photo, we don't think about it, but just looking at that one image, we know everything that happened on that holiday or everything that happened at that time. We start to see how the mind works for observing thinking in this way. Now, I feel my thoughts as a feeling in my body. Anybody else feels their thoughts? 2 of you? Yeah. Feeling thoughts is rarer. You can say it's closer to intuition. You kind of feel, you get the feeling in your body, but the full information of the thought is there. In my past life, I used to work managing a warehouse or a number of warehouses over the years. And even today, I can feel where all the products are, or the products were. I can feel their code. I can even get that flick image of what they look like. I know exactly where they were in the warehouse. but as a feeling, not as a vision, not as a sound, not as words. Interesting. Going to try something now. Okay. I'm going to use a dessert, but if you don't know what this dessert is, whatever your favorite dessert is, so I'm going to say sticky date pudding with warm vanilla custard and a good quality vanilla ice cream just kind of melting in it. Yeah, makes us hungry. How many people could taste that? I could taste it. Some of you couldn't taste it. Some of you could. How many people could see that dessert? Yeah, there you go. See, I couldn't see it. I could just taste it. Could anyone smell it? Often there's some people in the class who could smell it. Nobody today. Yeah, often we can have that. What do we start to learn from this? Well, first we can learn that we can see thoughts, we hear them, we smell them, we taste them, or we feel them with our body. Okay. So what do we learn from this? Well, we learn that thinking doesn't actually exist. True, it doesn't exist. We learn that our mind communicates with us by stimulating one or a combination of our 5 senses. It produces a sight, a sound, a smell, a taste, a feeling in the body, or a combination of these to communicate. And over the years, we've learned to interpret what this means. But the thing is, not all of us are wired in the same way. For all the people here and all the previous classes I've done throughout the week and throughout the years, there's so many different combinations on the way that people think. So if you get the feeling that nobody understands you, it's probably because they don't. Actually, they never can. Unless their thinking or way of thinking or experiencing thinking aligns with yours, and also their past experiences throughout their life aligns with yours, it's impossible for anyone to get you, to truly understand you. And it's impossible for you to understand them. Literally, we're all living in different worlds. This insight changes the way we relate to ourselves, our own thinking, but it also changes the way that we relate to others. Yeah? Be open that other people think differently, that they see things differently. Yeah? It's not strange if someone doesn't understand what you're talking about. It's not strange if you have difficulty communicating how you feel with others. This is a really important lesson. Now, what other insight did we get from this meditation? Remember, I asked you, where do you experience thinking? Where do you experience in your frontal lobes, around here? Yeah, that's one place. Sometimes I experience it here. Anyone else? Round the back of your head, outside. Yeah, it's funny. Thinking can go beyond ourselves. This is because thinking doesn't exist. Our mind stimulates senses. Where it projects it, that's where thinking seems to be. Sometimes if I'm having a conversation with someone in my head, I feel thinking inside my mouth. It's like I can hear the words inside my mouth, but my mouth's not moving. It's very strange. Yeah. When I mentioned the food, did anyone feel or find the thinking was located in their belly? Some of you did. You could feel it in your belly. So thinking was in your belly. So we learn that thinking doesn't have location. And we also learn that thinking in its essence has no shape or form. Yeah. Observing this in this way, how can we ever say, I own my thinking, I am my thinking, I am my thoughts? Because they're just stimulation of our senses produced by our mind. I did warn you about today's lesson, didn't I?